Alright guys, what is up? So it's currently like 1 in the morning, but I just removed my intake manifold, and I'm going to show you guys every bolt you have to remove in order to get that off, and then I'm going to port and polish it and show you guys how to port and polish your intake manifold. So it's not that hard actually. I thought it was going to be so much harder to pull that intake manifold off, but it's actually pretty easy. So I'm going to show you how to do that, then I'm going to port and polish it and then ceramic coat it and throw it back on. So let's get to how you pull the intake manifold off. Alright guys, I told you 1 in the morning, so let's get to pulling. So as you can see, that gap there, it's off, so push it back on. So the bolts you have to remove, let's see if it's going to want to focus, maybe. Ah, there we go. Okay, so the bolts you're going to want to remove are the 4 obvious ones that are like on the intake manifold right there. First, well, I guess first you'll want to do all the wiring, take all the wiring off. Right here, mine's just dangling and stuff, but you'll want to remove all your wiring. Then there's like 4 bolts that are just the obvious 4 that are holding it on. Then your power steering pump, mine's just hanging here now, so that's going to be fun to put back on, but I don't think it'll be too bad. It's still bolted in by 1 bolt, so I'm just going to have to swivel that top bolt right there. But so basically that top bolt is the one that goes that top bolt is the one that goes right there on the left, and then you have to take off the ones on the right. And the reason why you have to take the pump off is because there's like, you see those 2 right ones right there, you have to take those off, and I think that bottom one right there, if that's a bolt. So you take off all of that, you take off the power steering pump, kind of how it's just hanging there, so it's still hanging on by 1 bolt, and that 1 bolt, as you can see, is right there in the middle of the screen, and it's like underneath this guy, underneath the power steering pump. If you can just reach your hand under there when you're taking it off, you'll feel it. It's not that bad, but that was probably one of the hardest ones, is just right there. You just need 2 little extensions. It's not bad at all, but let's see, it's right there, the one that's kind of crooked, and it's the only one holding it on now, or else that thing would just be completely gone. So you have to take that one off. You have to unplug that guy right there. Let's see. Then, as I said, those 4 on the top. I took off the throttle body, but I don't know if you actually need to do that. It just seemed easier. Probably is a good idea. It probably helps. Then you have to take off your EGR thingy, this pipe, whatever. I think that's called the EGR. I'm doing the EGR delete too, so I'll show you guys that. But yeah, so you take that off, and that guy sits, let's see, sits right there where that little plate is. As you can see, that matches up right there. So that goes there, and then right down there is where this guy goes. So it goes under your coolant line and then hooks in there. This wasn't full of coolant. I don't know if it's supposed to be or what. Actually, I think it's like for the evaporative system or whatever. I'm not sure what it's called, but I thought originally that was going to be full of coolant, but it's actually not. I think it's just for like emissions or something like that. But yeah, so I removed that. Just, there's like 2 8mm bolts right there. Yeah, 2 8mm bolts, and then that one I just used this, which is a horrible idea if you strip it, but mine was loose enough to where I didn't strip it, so that's good. Then there's 1 bolt, let's see if I can remember right, there's 1 bolt under there, I believe, and then that's pretty much it. You just disconnect all the hoses. I still gotta disconnect this guy right here, but yeah, that's pretty much it. Not too bad. I think that's yeah, mostly it. So now I'm gonna pull it off, and then I'll show you guys what it's like off the car. Alright guys, so that's what it looks like with the intake manifold off. As you can see, there's your head and everything, and boy, that was like super easy, but got a little frustrated with all these little freaking all the clips and wiring and stuff. But yeah, that's with it off. That's what it looks like. I'm going to be taking off this little rubber piece. There's that gone, so that will look a little better. And then I'm going to be removing this butterfly valve and this little ugly green thing right there, and then porting and polishing it as much as possible. And then I will be painting it. So I'm pretty sure the far left and far right runners are the ones that are the most, they need to be ported the most because they have the most, I don't know what the word is, but they need to be ported the most. The two middle ones, these two, are the freest flowing, and the other two are kind of crappy flowing, I guess. So gonna be porting those, removing that butterfly valve. I don't know if I'm eventually just gonna buy the nice upgraded intake manifold, but for sure I'm gonna try this one. I'm gonna try porting it as much as possible. I'm gonna try painting it up with that ceramic painting, and then yeah, I will let you guys know. But yeah, hopefully that lets you guys know how to do this. The hardest part is probably those 2 bolts, but honestly it's super easy. It just takes a little bit of time and gets kind of frustrating, but it's pretty easy, to be honest. It's not bad at all. So yeah, I'm gonna be doing that, and then I'll also be hooking up my oil catch can. I'll show you guys. Oh, there we go. So there's my oil catch can right there, and I'm gonna be showing you guys how to hook that up. And I know it looks really confusing right now because all the wires and stuff are just all over the place, but it's really not that bad. I'm gonna start porting that intake manifold, and I will keep you guys updated. Alright guys, so I'm starting to port my intake manifold, but first I wanted to take out the butterfly valves. So this is more of an extreme version of porting and polishing. You don't need to do this, but this will help if you're going for like eventually high horsepower, like 500 horsepower, like if you're gonna build your motor. So I've taken out the 3 valves right there, and I have 1 more on the left. So my screws were really tight, and I ended up stripping a couple, so I had to kind of drill out those, but that's not too big of a deal. You just have to drill out those screws and then keep going. So once you do that, you can pull out this metal bar in the middle, and you basically are just getting a little bit of extra flow, and then I'll start porting out these edges. But I'll keep you guys posted and show you when I have that last one. Alright guys, it's kind of a mess, but I just got this little butterfly rod valve thingy that holds the butterfly valves in. So I thought these little black parts were going to like be an issue, but it just slides out if you just twist and slide out of like that little hole right there. If you just twist and slide out of it, because it used to be in like that. That's what it used to be like. It goes through that hole just like that. As you can see, like one's in there, and you just have to twist and pull and twist and pull, and then this guy comes out. So now I'm ready to port and polish this, and then we'll be good to go. Alright guys, so I've started the porting process. On the right there, those 2 have already been ported. It's kind of hard to see, and they're still dirty. I haven't cleaned them out. I plan on just washing it and then drying it after I'm done porting, and then I'm going to ceramic coat it. But so basically those are what they look like, and what I did is I just took this stock gasket and I put it on, and then I just took a Sharpie and marked the inside edges as much as I could, and that's basically the line that I port. So all this black Sharpie, like that one hasn't been ported on the left there, and that I'm gonna port it basically to that black line and try to get it as smooth as possible. You're trying to get it as smooth as possible and as big as possible, and then any like sharp like bumps, kind of like that one, it's kind of hard to see, but let's see if we can get on video. that one has kind of right there on that left one, it has kind of like a sharp bump. So that would just kind of affect the airflow a little bit. So you're just trying to make it as smooth and as nice as possible. But yeah, I'll show you guys the porting process now. Here. Almost done on this one. Camera. Alright, almost done. Okay guys, so that's a rough port right there. Just kind of tried to get some of the metal out of there. Next would be smoothing it out. But as you can see on the one right here that I just started porting, it's starting to be smoother right there. But on this one, give me a little light over here. On this one, see how rough that is? I don't know why the inside ones like these two are smooth and then this one's really rough. But basically I'm just trying to smooth that out, bore it out a tiny bit, and make sure there's no big bumps that would mess with the airflow. But it's pretty simple. You're just kind of taking a little bit of metal away and then you'll clean it up after. I'm going to ceramic coat it, so I'll show you guys that in another video. But that's it for this video, guys. Stay tuned, hit that subscribe button, and I'll catch you guys next time.